Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, July 7th, 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're listening to this in America, happy July 4th weekend. I hope you're enjoying your weekend and staying cool and just creating many memories. And just relaxing maybe like I am. That's what I'm doing all weekend. And for those of you who listen every week, thank you so much. I appreciate your feedback, your suggestions, and actually the podcast topic today is from a suggestion. So I appreciate that so very much. Thank you. For those of you who are new, please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com for all about my work. The schedule appointment button is on every page and my upcoming events. I'm also on Facebook under business page Lisa M. Hopp, Spiritual Coach and Media. And please also follow me on Instagram under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. And for those of you listening on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. And thank you to all of my listeners in other formats such as Spotify. I appreciate it so very much. So on to today's topic. Thank you so much for joining me. A listener, I want to say a viewer, but not yet. A listener has suggested that I take on the topic about the pain of leaving relationships where the boundaries have been crossed. So today's topic is setting and surviving those boundaries. And they're very difficult, aren't they? Because we're human. So I'd like to start with that, about what causes us pain. When we set boundaries, when we look for ourselves, when we trust, when we give our all in a relationship, when we put what we expect and our trust and our faith and our belief into another person, into a relationship, and how it can be painful. And why is it painful? Well, there's more than one reason. Here's where I'd like to start. You should set boundaries. You should always be asking for what you deserve to have and know that you're worthy and deserving of having it. There should be an expectation of that in your life, that you are surrounded by people and experiences that align with what you want, that are aligned with you, that are healthy, that are loving. You have the job of completing. You have the job of taking care of you. But there should be a complement around you of supportive people that are with you on this journey and that are healthy, that you know that when they're not in the room with you, that they have your back. And they have your back when they are in the room with you. That's so very important. It's a blessing, but it is an expectation that we're all allowed to have. Now, where do expectations go south a bit, are not the best? When you have an expectation that someone should not be who they are, when you have an expectation that they are in charge of your happiness, when you give up your power to them due to expectation, that's where we get off track. That's not where we should be. That's not what we should want. But it's very easy as human beings with our ego and our feelings and our inner child experiences and our story, to want others to meet expectations. You see, it's our job to meet expectations for ourselves. It's an inside job. And then you formulate the boundaries from there. So you start inside. Stay with me. Stay with me here. You start inside, loving yourself, knowing your worth, knowing what you deserve, knowing your power, knowing you can get it done yourself, being the greatest version of yourself as much as you can. It's a work in progress all the time, but loving the little scars and warts and moments as you go along, being your own best friend. But then expecting that how you see yourself is how others should be with you as well. And it becomes easier that way, by the way. It's kind of has its own flow because you teach others how to treat you through your vibration. So if you're walking around this earth and you expect the best for yourself, and you also know you're responsible for it, and there's a bit of a vibe you have, as I said, it's like I call it the mojo. You walk around with your shoulders up more, your head up more. You smile, and sometimes you don't even understand why you're smiling. You just do because you're at peace with yourself. You know you've come far, you're giving yourself credit, and you know you're excited about what's to come and all the opportunities, all the possibilities, all the probabilities. You know how far you've come in healing, and you know how far you have to go. And so you expect others around you to support you in that. And then when they don't, you accept them for who they are, with their story. Maybe they're one that isn't feeling that way about themselves. But you treat them as you wish to be treated, but it's not your job to fix somebody else. It's not your job to make them feel about themselves as they don't, as they can't. It's only your job to make sure about how you feel about you. You see? If you feel great about you, others will draw away from you. They will fall back, or they will upgrade themselves to stay with you, to align with you. And we're not talking here just about romantic. We're talking about friendships. We're talking about family. We're talking about coworkers. We're talking about the boss. Relationships in your life. They will respond to the nature of what's going on inside of you. And let's address that. What's going on inside of you? What's going on inside of you is what you see on the outside of you. If you feel that a relationship may fail, you're going to see it failing because your inside self is projecting itself out to your environment. If you have a fear of those immigrating to this country, you'll see them everywhere because you don't want to see them everywhere. So you do. To a positive note, if you desire and ask and are focused on having a new Maserati, you're going to start to see Maseratis everywhere because you are putting out that energy and the universe responds to your energy. The universe feeds back to you what's inside of you. So when you see hate around you, there's a part of you that hates. It doesn't mean you're a hateful person. You may fear something about what you're seeing that's hateful around you as well. But it is tied to your emotions. Now, I always like to say this, and if you're new, you'll hear me say this again. It's not on a human level your fault. It's not that you've asked for it and you deserve it and you're bad. No, it's not negative like that. It's energy does not have an emotion. Energy does not have a judgment. Energy does not say you deserve to have this and that person doesn't deserve to have that. It's not egotistical energy. It's just energy. So what you put out in emotions and thoughts and words will arrive. And yes, it can be what you don't want to arrive. So what's important, so important, the most important, is to pay attention what's going on inside of you and do the work. Do the work of focusing as much as you possibly can, if not entirely, on what you do want, not what you don't want. Now, how does that apply to relationships? Focus on the blessings, focus on the present moment, focus on who they are in a positive way, because there's got to be something. I'm laughing because I just thought of somebody who doesn't really have something, but I'm not going to say who. But there must be something. There must be something. It's just not apparent. But in your own life, though, in your own life, the people that are around you have something. Everybody has the ability to love, or is given the ability to love. And so it's so important to go, what can I find that's positive? What can I find? I dare to say this, but even the worst people that have been in this world have loved, have felt emotion. Maybe they were horrible overall, but they usually had the ability to feel something, whether it be for an animal or a person. And so unless they're downright evil and don't have that capacity, which is its own thing, right? The average everyday person has the ability to feel love, and sometimes even people that are the worst people can be stroked of the heart. And so what is best to do in your relationship area is to find what is good. But that doesn't mean that you blur your boundaries and settle. It just means that the way to bring down pain, the way to bring down that rawness, to bring down those moments of suffering, is to focus on what have they brought. What blessings have they brought? How can this be healed through that? Because healing can occur through that. So there is a exercise here. I guess I want to call it a trick. You see that good within them, but you also are aware of what you deserve, of what you must have. If they have eroded your trust, you want trust, and you shall have it. But you can still love them and understand that they cannot give you something that is so important to you, that you must have, and send them away from you, or leave them with love, but understanding. So here's what I want to say to you all. I have a project for you, and you might have done this already, but it's okay to go there again, always. Be clear on what you want. Sit down with yourself. Even if you're married, even if you're in a committed relationship that's not legally marriage, doesn't matter, by the way, heaven sees them all the same. Sit down with your romantic relationships and write down what you want privately, anonymously. It's for you to know. It's just for you. The first item should be available, the first word, because that covers everything. It covers emotional, it covers mental, it covers spiritual, it covers legal, it covers everything. And then you go from there inside. If you need trust, trust. If you need wealth, put down wealth. Whatever it is that you must have, that you must know, that would make you feel that you have what's aligned with you, that complements you, that what you deserve, is what that would help you to have happiness, because happiness is your job, but will complement you in that happiness. Then do it with friends. What's the list of friend qualities that I must have? When I said to you, I believe earlier, because I'm so in the moment. If I didn't, then I'm saying it now. One of my requirements is I want to know that my friends have my back when I'm not in the room. And that they have my back when I am in the room. And it's not a lot required there, but you want to know that they respect you like that they care about you like that they know you like that they should. And so I would put that down on a friend list. I would also put there amazingly a lot of fun and, happy and spontaneous too. So put that down with friendships. And then family. What's the family look like if you want to do that? Because family is kind of, we choose our family before we come to earth, but they're ours once we get here. But it's all right to acknowledge what kind of family you want and to make that list too. When you make lists, and you can write them or type them, it puts it out to the universe. This is what I'm asking for. This is what I know is mine. It orders it up. It also gives you clarity too, to know what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, the universe doesn't know what it'll send you a mixed kind of bag. So it clears up everything. And then you see with clarity what you have and what you don't have. But remember, if a relationship is around you that is not what you want, you still have to be loving about it. Again, being loving about it. Seeing the positive, seeing the acceptance, having the understanding, having the compassion about this person. You can understand someone and be compassionate about them, but that doesn't mean that you're supposed to accept them, be unhappy with them, fix them, save them, be in it for the long run with them. No. It is about understanding what you deserve and understanding that is important for you to heal and for them to be healed, and you can lovingly let them go, or you can lovingly stay with them, whichever you deem for the best. And also, I just feel like I'm being told to say this, don't apologize. You don't have to apologize to anyone for the choices that are best for you. Don't do it. If you feel that you are sorry and want to apologize, yes, do it. But don't do it because you feel bad because you're doing something for yourself. Never, never, never. I always am telling people in my life to not apologize. Don't apologize. If people apologize because they're taught that there's to feel less or so about themselves. Now, again, if you've done something that you should apologize for. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you're apologizing to someone because you take on letting them down in some way, or think you have, even if you haven't, it's a false apology. Never falsely apologize unless you've really done something to apologize for. Self-esteem will take care of that. Self-love will take care of that. People apologize all the time because they feel smaller. Feel your largest self and then apologize when you really need to. Sometimes I'll apologize to someone, not because I feel I've done something in error. I'll apologize for them feeling how they feel. I'm sorry you feel that way. That's kind of a way of like handling it, but I'm not apologizing for me because in that circumstance, I have not done anything to be apologetic for. So watch that, because it's programmed in and it is only about how you feel about yourself. False apologies, all right? This world is tough to navigate at times. We want to be here now. Can you imagine we signed up for this sometimes? Well, others have signed up for worse in history, haven't they? But we're cycling right now. And I promised it this week. And I'm still going to go for it. I have to get my room ready, my recording room. But I'm going to be doing more videos on YouTube addressing this time of awakening, which we are going through as a planet. And in this time of awakening, we are doing cycles. We are bringing back the past as almost like a deja vu, a reliving. And it's dangerous. And we should have learned before. But we cycle as a planet until we get it. And in this case, the cycling, going back to 1930s Germany, for instance, going back to other time frames, is a way to get the lessons we did not learn before. We cycle until we learn. But it is dangerous because in this time of awakening, more than ever, or at least very significant at this time, the choice that one person makes affects the all. And we are all connected as one. So it's more vibrant. It is stronger, the energy. So any choice a person makes, again, affects the freedom and the dignity and the happiness and the healthiness of the all. And so you can't say, oh, I'm not going to pay attention to it. Because even by not paying attention to what's happening in this world, you're participating in making it, in impacting another, and potentially even making it worse for another. But when participating, we all have to make sure that we know what we're doing. And we're all awakening in our own pace, in our own time. And no one is, some are ahead, some have awakened sooner, but no one is better than another. It's just a matter of speed. So in this awakening time, we're feeling more, we're healing more, we're bruised up more. And so these topics about boundaries and raw pain and lack of trust, they hit harder because we are coming into a lighter body, a lighter earth life. And so the density of our past programming, of what needs to be healed, our stuff, the density of that has to be lightened, has to be healed, has to be eradicated, which means going into battle. And so keep that in mind. There is a higher purpose to this. There is a greater picture. And know that everyone around you is a teacher. Whether they are biological to you or not. Whether they are romantic, friend, or stranger passing by in a moment, they're all teachers. So learn what you're meant to learn. Be kind to yourself and others always. Be aware, just be aware, of how you're feeling in every moment. And then say, is this a feeling I want to have or I don't want to have? And also know, I'm being told to say this as well, there are no victims, okay? And I don't say that coldly. What it means is, if you're not happy right now, it's nobody else's fault. If you are in pain, it is your job. If something's not working out for you with income or anything in your life where you feel there's somebody or something else to blame, that's not the truth. We are all responsible for our story. If something is not satisfying to you, it is your job to change it, and yours alone. And then mass consciousness takes over. We're all headed towards later times till heaven coming on earth. So we're in the times of getting to that. Heaven energy cannot come to earth if there's hate, if there is bigotry, if there is any emotions of greed. And I don't mean wanting financial freedom. I meant harming others for the sake of yourself. Heaven will not come to earth with that. It has to be cleared out. So yes, there's a lot of work being done institutionally, personally, in every way. So, participate in as healthy a way as you possibly can, starting personally in a solo way to take on your life. What is your purpose? What do you want your world to look like? Now, when you ask, if you dare, oh my gosh, we dare to ask for what brings us fulfillment, happiness, more than we've been told we deserve in the past. When we dare to ask for it, it brings fear. It may bring loneliness. And yes, it brings pain often. But stay with it, because all storms are temporary. All experiences go towards the better. The only thing eternal that's going on in your life is your soul. Everything else is temporary. And also eternal is love. Love is what will be waiting for you and is what it's all about. So I want to speak to that because it's so important, and I've been told this repeatedly. How do I bring more abundance to myself, to my guides? Love. How do I heal? Love. How do I fix this? Love. Here's the thing. That's easy to say, but when heaven, your guides, your angels, whenever you ask the question of what to do, you're probably going to get the answer of love. Love cannot be faked. Love cannot be bought. Love must be felt in such a way that you almost, or you do completely cry with love. Cry happy. What I've started doing, and I have done it before, but I've started doing it again in a more consistent way, is when I'm out and about or not out and about, I send love. If I see somebody on TV, I send them love. If somebody driving, coming towards me in their car, I send them love. Love, 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 love. And I've noticed a shift. I've noticed the universe responding to me in a positive way. But I've heard this, and maybe you've done this. I haven't done this. I don't say what I don't mean. In the past, if you tell me you love me, I will not automatically say it back if I don't feel that. Some people say I love you with their head. They don't mean it. Or they hope it'll work for them in some way. Say I love you when you feel I love you, and work on feeling I love you in every way towards everything and everyone. And it can be a work in progress, because sometimes it's hard to send love to people. There's evil on this planet, and it would be very difficult to send them love. But the reason they're so evil is because someone in their past did not give them love. You don't have to say it to them. You don't have to write them with it. It's a vibration. It's energy. It's private. It's flow. Flow out love within yourself to everything and everyone, and you will see it reciprocated in the matter of every way of abundance in your life. It is said that if you find what you do, you thrive at it. That's what we're talking about. Love thrives. It always will pay out, not always in your timing that you would want, but it always pays out. And so for those who have most hurt you, send them love. You don't have to say it. Just send it to them with a vibration as much as you possibly can. And if you can't send pure love, send understanding, send compassion, send I'm working on it. Right? It can be in any place you're in. But go towards that better feeling. And you will see your healing take place and your life line up. Even better than you can imagine if you keep at it. I hope that helped today. I hope that you understand how I was trying to communicate, and that I did in a clear enough way. Again, if you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. If you feel this would help someone, please share with them. It's so very important. That's why I do this. I do it to serve. So I do hope it helped to serve you today. And thank you again for joining me. All the best to you. Many blessings. And I'll talk to you next time.